Hello, hello, hello. It is Priscilla with Scylla Travel coming at you live.
Hello, hello, hello.
And
it is Priscilla with Scylla Travel.
Definitely it's on Facebook. So I have my phone over here. I always check to make sure that it's going to work on Facebook. So nice to see you today on a lovely Saturday afternoon. So how is it? How is your Saturday? Mine is going pretty well. I did have just a little video that I wanted to show you, just detailing our trip coming up. So let me turn. And I'm back. So that's a little video intro just to introduce our trip next year to Ghana. Would you believe I did that? I created that video. I'm a techie. I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually an IT technical person. That's my background. So I just get wrapped around the axle when it comes to making little videos and little things like that. So I thought that was cute. So that was just to describe our trip next year. That was the story. That's my story. I mentioned before that I always wanted to know where I came from. Growing up in the United States, I grew up in New York. My mom was from South Carolina and my dad was from Pennsylvania. So we spent every summer here in South Carolina. We didn't spend our summers in the naked city of New York. No, we did not. Our parents had us down here in the South. So in the South, I am back. So this is Priscilla with Scylla Travel coming at you live. And I help you live the dream through travel. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. I know I am. And happy Labor Day weekend. How awesome is that? We get a free day, Monday. Yes, Labor Day. So what kind of things do you guys have planned for Labor Day? I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea. My husband already barbecued. He barbecued today. Today's Saturday. So I don't even know what we're going to do on Monday. Probably just relax, chill, maybe I'll work on my garden. So I do a little gardening. It wasn't that good. This summer was my first try at it. When the coronavirus hit, I needed to find something to do. There was no travel going on, but I learned how to grow stuff. Now it's time to plant some winter stuff. So today I wanted to just talk about, I just want to do a little travel update because a lot of things have changed. Borders are opening. It's getting a little exciting. The numbers are going down. Although here in the States, there are some regions, some states that are still have high numbers or sort of high numbers. They're coming down some, but not my state. I'm in South Carolina. And New York State, they're doing pretty good. So today, I just wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on in the world of travel. So today's just a travel update and some tips and tricks to help you as you start planning your vacation and our Ghana 2021 trip. So, like I said, I'm Priscilla with Scylla Travel. I own a travel agency. I am located in Charleston, South Carolina, and I work with you to plan your ideal vacation. In fact, to plan the vacation of your dreams. So I design custom travel experiences that you and your family and friends are going to talk about for so long. I mean, you'll be thinking about that vacation for years and years and years and years to come. So that's my goal. So I customize every aspect of your trip. I even book groups. So if any of you have any family reunions, birthdays, sorority or fraternity gatherings that you would like to do, or even church groups, I'm your girl. I'm the one to do it for you. I customize all those things. I manage all of your people for you, so that you don't have to do it. You can just relax and focus on the fun. And what does that give you? It gives you freedom. It also helps you save some money. You have convenience. You've got personal attention and my expert advice. And you get service before, during, and after your trip. So how you work with me is the first step is to get a consultation. It's complimentary. It's courtesy. And it is a discovery call. Then once we figure out what you want to the things that you want to do on your trip, where you want to go, what kind of excursions, how many people, what kind of vibe, what kind of hotel, what your budget is, all those types of things. And if we get to know each other, then we both determine that we are a good fit for each other. Then we move on to the travel service agreement and the planning fee. And the planning fee is for the research that I do to perfect your trip so that you get the trip of your dreams. You get 2 to 3 quotes. We tweak them here and there based on what I recommend. Maybe you want something different. Maybe you just want to try something different. Maybe it's not quite what you want. We just work with each other. I work with you, figure out and plan that trip for you. And then what do you do next? You book your trip. So that's how you work with me. So Ghana, that's the number one thing that's on my mind. So we know that it's in West Africa, but for those of you who have not tuned in before, I'm Priscilla with Scylla Travel. And if you are live, please comment #live. And if you are a part of the replay audience, I would really appreciate it if you did #replay. So I'm really glad to have you. I'm really glad to be here for you. And I'm really happy that I'm able to serve you. So the update for our Ghana trip, because I'm doing a Ghana trip, sponsoring a Ghana trip. We're leading a Ghana trip next year, fall. So it's looking good for us since Ghana just reopened its borders on the 1st of September. So I'm doing a little wheeling and dealing with my travel suppliers. And initially the trip was going to be 10 days, but it's just adjusted a bit for 7 to 8 days. That'll give people enough time to, take off from their job, come back, rest, and then go back to work. So 7 or 8 days I'm still nailing down all the details. I'm comparing quotes, I've got to do that, because I try to get the best value for your money. So it's going to be the week of the 20th of November, next Thanksgiving week. So most people, plan to be off, and the jobs know people plan to be off during that time. And plus, we want to do it before the Christmas vacation because things go sky high after that. So right before Thanksgiving time is the perfect time, as well as flights are generally cheaper during that time of year. However, I can't at this point in time give you a quote on flights because they're not available this far out. I was only able to find flights up to July of 2021, but I will keep checking. So flights won't be included in the cost of the trip. And here's the reason why. Because many people will be coming from different locations. They won't all be traveling from Charleston, where I am. So it's not like it's a group where we're all going together, where I can throw the airfare in with the cost of the trip. However, I do have access to financing options, payment plans, things of that nature, other things to help you book your trip. I am on top of it. And if indeed you wish for me to, or would like for me to book your flight, if you're going along on the trip, you just contact me and I would just work that out. We work out those details. But for those of you who are in Charleston, who intend on going on the trip, yes, indeed, we'll be able to work something out. However, it's not included in the price of the trip. And that is the reason why. So, the next thing I wanted to talk about is for the trip, we will have payment plans. So I want to get that payment out there as soon as possible, hopefully within the next week or two, nail down the payment plan. So, and I have a tool. So those of you who have gone to look at the itinerary, you can also sign up there. And then that is the tool that I will be using. Right now, it's just asking if you're interested in the trip, but that's a tool that I'll be using to do the payments, give you updates. We'll be using that platform to communicate where you can get information. I'll be sending out information on when different documents are needed, like shots, visas, things like that, copies of your passport, all those things that I'll be needing to arrange your trip if indeed you do decide to come on this trip. So I'll be doing that communication on that platform. Now, let's see, do I have any comments? I'm just going to take a break here. Just to welcome people who are on. Let me see if I can see anyone. Check in here. Let's see, any comments? I saw some hearts. Somebody threw up some hearts. I saw that a second ago. Now I don't know where they came from. I'm not seeing it on the screen here. So no comments. I just saw some hearts over there on Facebook that were thrown up. Thank you. Whoever that is watching, I appreciate you watching. So back to our trip update. Here's the thing that we're always talking about. COVID-19. Good God. I am so tired of COVID-19. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. But we can't get around it. So the country of Ghana, as well as all of the other countries, they are requiring a COVID-19 test. So here is the caveat for the COVID-19 test. They are requiring that you have a PCR test. That's the one where they do the swab up your nose. They're requiring that you do this COVID PCR test. You need to have a result within 72 hours of you leaving and traveling to Ghana. And you have to, there are some providers. Right now, things are kind of dicey with the timing and all, but there are some, besides going to your local health department, there are some methods of getting a test. So I'm paying attention to that. So there's a company, I'm going to go the route again of the home PCR test or the home COVID test. As long as you get that test within the week, there's a way to plan it. What happened with my test is that we did it over the weekend. And that just was not good because FedEx was the one that had to fail. It was not the testing facility because they had my test results back in like 24 hours by the time they received that test. So since the trip will more than likely, it will be on a weekend, I would recommend getting the test kit earlier, but I'd have to check to see with each lab. You check to see with each lab the time limit that you would have before you need to actually take the test and send it in, because they'll void it out if you don't. So you got to time that just right. And then when you send it in, make sure that they will give you a label, a return label. Make sure that you actually go to the FedEx or the UPS facility and send it. Do not wait. Do not do like I did and wait for FedEx to come pick it up, because that was an epic failure. So there are some ways around that. Hopefully by the time we're ready to travel, things will have loosened up a little bit. We'll probably have some rapid testing going on here in the States. It seems like everybody else is a little bit farther advanced than we are. But hopefully by then we'll have fixed things or got the lead out, basically, getting our testing together. So once you take that test, and you have it when you get there, when you fly in, Ghana has, and I'll be posting the video on my Facebook page of the first flight. They had, the press was there and everything, interviewing the people, as they flew in, the first people to fly into Kotoka airport in Accra. And it was quite comical, but, it makes you feel like they were pretty safe about it. What they're going to do is they're going to do or give you a COVID test, and it's a PCR test, and it's going to be rapid. You'll have your results within 30 minutes. So you'll know whether you're going to be quarantined or not before you even leave the airport. So that's the good thing. Now let's move on. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about are some things that are important when you're visiting Ghana. Right here, you need to be aware of the visa requirements. So here are some of the tips that I'm providing for you. I'm going to provide the links later on, or if any of you would like a copy of the slide, send me an email to agent@ScyllaTravel.com. I will give you that information again, or you could just DM me here on Facebook or DM me on Instagram. So, visa requirements. In order to get a valid Ghana visa, you need to have a valid passport or legal travel documents. And you need to have a valid entry visa or certificate. That's what the visa is. It's an entry certificate into the country of Ghana. You also need to have a yellow fever vaccination. So if you're 9 months old and above, or you're older than 9 months old, then you need to have a yellow fever vaccination. And you need to have taken the test at least 10 days from the proposed date of your travel. That's at least. Now, it's not saying you have to wait until then to do it. It's not like the COVID deal. You just have to, and let's say that you've already had it because you've gone to a country which required that, or maybe you were in the military and you were serving or something like that and you had that. You just need to produce evidence that you had a yellow fever vaccination not more than 10 years old before you intend to enter the country of Ghana. So you need to have, in order to get the visa, you have to have this yellow fever vaccination. You can get that vaccination from CVS. They know and Walgreens, as a matter of fact. Walgreens has if you go in there, if you go to because they also do passport photos. So you can get your yellow fever vaccine and you can get your passport photo done right there at Walgreens drugstore. Walgreens are all over the country. Okay, so the link to the consulate is, I'll be providing these links for you later on. But nope, we're not going there. Cancel that. It didn't want to go there, saying something wrong with the internet. Boy, I tell you, the internet is spotty sometimes, but I'm still live. I can see it on my phone. I'm still live. So, all right. So next, passports. This is the time to get your passport. Okay. So I'm going to blow this up so you can really, really see it really, really good. So you understand the severity of the situation. This is serious. Look at my face. This is serious. Get your passport. Do it now. Don't wait. Here's the reason. All right. Expect delays. right? You can apply at an acceptance facility, or if you already have one and you need to renew it, you can do it by mail. So you pay your fees, you fill out the form, you provide the documents, you provide the photo, or they take a photo, you pay the fees, you submit the information for your passport. It goes to the Department of Homeland Security. So when you submit that, you have to provide original documents, and I'll be talking about that in a second. No expedited services available at this time because of COVID-19. They're still doing their phased reopening approach. They're in phase 2, I believe. So they've got quite a few offices open right now, but they're still working on that backlog. They had like 7 million backlogged passport applications at the time that the passport offices reopen the end of May. So I'm sure they're working on that backlog, but expect delays because while they were at home working, they could not take your documents home for security reasons. So get your passport now, apply for it now. That way you're not frazzled. If you don't have one, or if you need to renew it, if you're within 6 months of that passport expiring by the time you travel, I would really explore renewing that passport now or close to it. Contact your local passport office or go to the passport website to find out the details. Okay, how do you apply for a passport? This is for those people who don't have one already. Well, what you do is you go to a passport acceptance facility, right? And that's your local post office. And you have to take a passport photo. You can go to Walgreens and get one, or you could try to do it yourself. There are specifications for it. You also need citizenship evidence, evidence that you're a citizen. And that means your birth certificate. You also need, yes, I don't know why I had that twice, but that's what photo evidence is, the passport photo. You need to, oh, no, I'm sorry. Your photo evidence is like your driver's license. Sorry about that. Your driver's license is a photo evidence, and so is your passport. If you have one already, that's like it's expired already. That's considered evidence, okay? Some type of photo evidence. Now, when it comes to your citizenship evidence for people born in the U.S., you need a birth certificate, or you can have a, like I said, a expired passport to get a new one. So that will suffice as evidence because they've already vetted you. As long as it's undamaged, it can't be beat up or anything like that. Now, if you're born outside the United States, you need to have, you can have a passport, right? Even if you have been born outside the U.S., you can still have one, same thing, as long as it's not damaged, and it can be expired. You can have a consular report or birth proof that you were born abroad, like some military people, and they have children overseas when they're stationed in Guam or places like that, U.S. Virgin Islands, they get those. Or maybe you're a part of the, what do we call them? The Corps. Where you're an ambassador, or you work for the State Department as an ambassador, or you're part of that corps of people who travel. And you can have a certificate of naturalization. That's your green card if you are not a U.S. citizen. And if you have become a U.S. citizen, that certificate of citizenship will serve as evidence if you have been born outside of the U.S. Here are just a couple of tips for submitting your citizenship evidence. Make sure that you submit your original evidence of your U.S. citizenship. Submit a photocopy front and back of that original evidence. You need to have at least have that. You can have a certified copy of it. You can have it certified like by you can go to the UPS store and have like a notary certified. You can get certified copies of that. I haven't seen that in such a long time, but you can get certified copies. Like when you get a copy, you get it certified that is an authentic copy that you submit. And it has to have a stamp or seal of the issuing authority. That's like the notary or the person who's doing it. So make sure that your photocopies, they have to be on 8.5 by 11 standard paper, black and white, and single-sided for those photocopies. But they have to be certified. Remember that, because they want you to submit your original documents, because that's the thing. You submit your original documents, and they will send those documents back. So my assistant, Caitlin, and I did ours right before Corona hit. And we got ours back. We did the expedited service. Of course, they're not doing that any longer, but we got ours back within like a week. Our documents came back within a week, but it's going to take a while. So please get your appointment now at your post office. This is a copy of your application, or this is just an image of what the application looks like for the application for a passport. So in order to get a passport, you need to submit this application along with your proof when you go to your the location where you're going to take that passport application in. Usually your post office. Those are the acceptance facilities, United States Post Offices. And there is a link. I'll go with that later after I'm finished with the slides to run you through. There's a little tool how you can find your passport office or the acceptance facility nearest you. And some of them even take the photographs. You have to pay extra for it, mind you, but they do it. Next, what you need to have is your real ID. By the time we travel, it will be November of 2021. You will need to have your real ID. So the real ID is, let me blow that up so you can see it better. That is a law that was passed in 2005 in response to the terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers in New York City at 9/11. So, and that was quite a long time ago when they instituted this. So the states have until October 1st of 2020 to implement this real ID. And what it is the federal government is mandating that in order for a piece of identification to be accepted at any federal property or facility, you have to have a real ID authenticated piece of identification. And that normally means driver's licenses. So the states were scrambling. I scrambled last year to get a real ID by the last deadline was supposed to be October 1st of 2020, but because of COVID, they pushed it out to 2021. So remember, get that real ID now. Don't wait. If you're waiting on the passport, you don't need to have the real ID to get your passport. As long as you have a driver's license or a photo ID, you can get you can have a non-driver's ID and get your passport. Just don't wait. You have a little bit more time to get your real ID. You can wait if you want to go get the real ID if you want, because that's pretty quick. You just go to the DMV, fill out the forms. I may have to do another video about that because there are specific types of documents that you need to get that. So, like if you're a woman and you're married, you have to have your marriage license. And if you've been married more than one time and your name is changed, you have to have documentation of those various name changes, which I'm not going to go into that. I think that's a bit much, but in order to get that real ID, they need to document that. So you will be prohibited from entering any federal property without a real ID compliant driver's license, meaning federal facilities like TSA checkpoints, they won't accept it. Okay. Or like if you need to enter a nuclear power plant, maybe you work there, maybe your spouse works there, maybe you want to work there, you're going to need one in order to enter a nuclear power plant or any facility like that. Boarding a federally regulated commercial aircraft, that means in order to get on the plane, you have to have a real ID. So please get your real ID. you could probably get that faster than you can, not probably, you can get it faster than you can get your passport, but I wouldn't wait. I would just go ahead, submit my documentation, whatever driver's license or picture ID that I have that's compliant with what the Homeland Security is, or TSA is, or the government is asking for. I would do it. I would submit it now, make my appointment, go do it, and then worry about the real ID later, you know, because you have a little bit of time, but just get that passport application going. So next. This is what your real ID is going to look like. A compliant versus a non-compliant real ID. This is how you know if your driver's license is compliant or not. It'll have a star, either a yellow star or a gold star in the top right corner. So if you look at your driver's license and it doesn't have that star, then it's not compliant. So that's how you can tell. So getting that real ID is muy importante. It's important. Put it at the top of your to-do list, but right under your passport. Get your passport, please. So all of these documents that I'm talking about that you need to know about and have in order to travel, they are in my guide. It's called The Complete Guide, the post-pandemic issue of international travel documents, what to bring, how to keep them safe post-COVID. And in order to get that guide, all you have to do is, if you're on Facebook, the link is in this video, or if you're on YouTube, the link is in this video. If you're on Instagram, go all the way up to the top, go to the bio section, and you will see a button link to download the guide. So you go download the guide, and this information, as well as other information on all those documents that you'll need to travel internationally, will be in it. So I encourage you, get the guide, the complete guide, the post-pandemic issue, and our upcoming trips. This is what we've been talking about, is our Experience Ghana History, Heritage, and Wildlife Safari Tour is coming up in 2021, which is why I'm encouraging you, please go get those things. Just go get them. Just don't put it on a back burner. Just do it. Now, let's see if I can walk a couple of you through. Hang on a second. All right, so let me pull up the internet and show you what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm going to go to, is how to find your acceptance facility for the passport. Hang on, let me share it. So this is the website. That's the website. And in order to find your passport facility, you go scroll down, type in your zip code. Mine's 29483. I'm going to do it within I'll do 10, the closest 10 facilities. And I'm going to pick photo on site nearby. If you need handicap access, you would check that. Or for photo is where they do it on site. Well, this is on site. This is for photo nearby. So I'm just going to do on site. So let me just hit search. Then you get your results. And you see the results. This is from my zip code. And these are the ones where Goose Creek, Cross County, these are the list of passport offices or acceptance facilities. They're post offices where you can get your passport done, and you can have a photo taken as well. So now let me go to the Real ID page. See, Real ID, this is on the DHS.gov Real ID page. Here's the current status of territories. All territories right now are compliant, except Oklahoma. They've requested an extension. So let's see. Now, over to Ghana. This is the Ghana Consulate Office. And these links I've provided. Like I said, I've provided the links here. This is where you would apply for your visa. And here are all the requirements, you know, everything that they're requesting. I just gave you a high level of what you need in order to apply for a visa. Now, your visa, in order to get a visa, you have to apply within 3 months of traveling, and that visa has to be good. You have to travel on that visa to Ghana within 3 months of the application date of you getting that visa. And then that visa is good for 30 days. Excuse me, 3 months. Sorry, 3 months. It has to be within 3 months before. You have to travel within 3 months, and then you can stay for up to 3 months. There are cases where you can get an extension for a year, but that's how it goes. 3 months and 3 months, 90 days and 90 days. So, and let's see, that's really all that I had right now today to talk about our trip to Ghana, the lifting of travel restrictions in Ghana, how to get your passport, how to get your real ID, how to get your visa, and as well as how to work with me. So, like I said before, I'm just going to remind you, this is Priscilla with Scylla Travel. I own a travel agency. I live in the Charleston, South Carolina area, and I help you live the dream through travel. We're planning a Ghana 2021 trip, the end of 2021, Thanksgiving week. It is going to be awesome. So now is the time to start getting ready. Just if you're interested in going, just go up to the top of this. If you're interested in going, just if you're on Instagram, go up to the top, click on the bio, you'll see a link. If you're on Facebook, click in the body of this post, you'll see a link. If you want to get it on my calendar and talk about other types of travel, because the Dominican Republic is also open and their restrictions are not quite as strict, and they're even offering travel insurance for visitors. So if you're interested in a Dominican Republic trip or any other trip, just get on my calendar. Scroll up to the top. If you're on Facebook, click on the link, contact me. If you're on Instagram, go to the top, click on the bio. If you are on YouTube, the links are in the video, body of the video with the information. So this is Priscilla with Scylla Travel. And, I really hope that you have a wonderful day off on Monday. For those of you who don't have to work on Monday, I know some people have to work on those days on holidays, like first responders and things like that. And thank you for your service if you are a first responder. But have a wonderful Labor Day. So even though we've been home, many of us have been home because I do have a job too. So a full-time job as well. So even though we've been working from home, we're still working. And I found that working from home can be even more stressful than going into the office many times. But at least we don't have to go into the office. So there you have it. This is Priscilla with Scylla Travel. And let me check to make sure that I don't have any questions out there. If you have any comments, remember #live. And if you're in the replay, #replay. And I will be sure to get back to you and answer your comments. So this is Priscilla with Scylla Travel. And I'm glad to have you on my channel today. I really appreciate you taking your time to be with me, spend some time with me today. And I'm going to sign off so you can enjoy the rest of your afternoon. This is Priscilla with Scylla Travel, signing off.